Be such a good turnout tonight. Someone was telling me that they had seen some old friends in this group tonight that they hadn't seen for years, and when you get a group this size from different areas of the county and so forth, well, it's bound to happen. You're going to run on to old friends, and the fellowship is what it's all about. My brother Dave says I'm his little brother. I'm really older than he is, but somewhere or another he outgrew me. I don't know how that happened. I love to hear him preach. I love to hear him tell stories. He's always been a really good storyteller. I remember once when we were kids, he got his nose bloodied some way, and I know it was an accident, but I don't really know how it happened, but in his storytelling, lots of times he liked to use props, and he still does. But in this case, he was going to keep his nose bleeding until my dad got home, because my dad gave the worst punishment, and that's what he was after. The problem was that Dad worked away from home and only got home on weekends, and this was about Wednesday. So we had to talk him out of that. I think that he does an excellent job with his speaking, and it always just kind of flows from him. And for me to take on a job like this, they always got to talk me into it. And when they were talking me into this situation, I said, well, you know, there better be a really big check involved if I'm going to take part in this program. So they said, well, there really is a big check. So I said, well, I guess I'll do it then. So I'm getting kind of anxious, and tonight I asked them when I got my check, and they said, oh, you don't get the check, you give the check to the bishop. The people of the Bunker Hill United Methodist Church believe in the Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission and the work that you do. For many years, we've worked to support the mission. We've had several of our members serve on the board through the years. When you had paper pickup routes, at least 2 of those routes were handled by our church members. When David is asked to speak in at the mission, at least 10 of our members, well, on many occasions anyway, at least 10 of our members accompany him and bring treats for the men. In March of each year, we have a cover dish meal at our church for all the mission men and the support personnel that can show up. So there's many things that we have that are connections for a few years now. Because of God's blessings to us, we've been able to include the mission in our church budget. When the mission went to get their final approval for the building plan, we had a good representation. I don't know about you guys, but we were ready for a fight that night, and it didn't turn out that way. It was all very smooth. When your plan was approved, it was as if our plan was approved. Therefore, it is very evident that Bunker Hill United Methodist Church is connected to the Martinsburg United Rescue Mission. When plans for the new building began to take place, we once more had to show our support. I wonder if Reverend Crow and Bob Tabler and Earl Stout would come up here, please. Yeah, Bob.
I'm at the wrong place.
Before we get started on this other thing, there's a couple questions I'd like to ask you guys. Any of you all fly planes? Nobody has a pilot's license. No pilot's license. You know, we've had rains over Berkeley Springs. We've had rains at Charlestown. We've had rains at Winchester. There hasn't been a rain in Martinsburg since Bob got started on this project. And what I want to know is, are you guys either seeing the clouds, or is it by the grace of God that this has happened? I think you've had near perfect weather. I have to share something else. David was pointing out who you talk to in order to volunteer to work in there, and I got the word that from Bob that there were some volunteers coming to help, and he told me about these two guys. I think one of them was maybe 68 and one was 72 or something like that, and they volunteered and got a job. And their job, I don't know, the weather might not have been quite as hot as it is now, but it was pretty warm, and the job that they did was barging the wall with tar. So I took this information back to our Methodist men's group, and I slipped up. I told you I wasn't very smooth, and I told them the whole story, and nobody volunteered. When they found out the job, and nobody volunteered for it. About a year ago, we acquired $1,000 of seed money to underwrite a gift for the Mission Building Fund. We decided to strive toward a goal of $5,000 through personal gifts and with God's blessing. On behalf of the people of Bunker Hill United Methodist Church, we want to present this check. This is a big check, they were telling me about. Present this check in the amount of $5,250 to the Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission to be used in the construction of or the furnishing of this new building that you have. We pray for I lost my place anyway. We pray for God's blessing on this building project. We pray that perhaps, maybe even from this event tonight, other groups and individuals will be inspired to give. We want you to have enough money to finish this building project and to furnish this building project, and so that you can still be a beacon of light in our area, and that you can serve men and women that are looking for, that need shelter, that need clothing, that need food, and we just pray that everything works out for you, and we want to continue to help you through the years too. And we just thank you for being there.